Hi everyone, it's Caroline on the hillside. Thanks for joining me today. A couple little additions that I've been putting on here. I had some bells, so I put those on with the glue glob. And I also did some dots. Wanted to do a little bit extra. I wanted to paint, so I put some gold and pink dots on here. I'm also adding a few things to some of the blank pages. I cut up my glue book of spontaneity little note, and I just put it on here with some of my leftover dots, taking from my baskets and my file folders. I made this fun, really rough, scrappy ruffle from this Zara bag, and I used it to sop up all kinds of different inks, and I thought this is the time now to use it. You can see there's paint and there's ink on it. It was white, so I added the ruffle here. Then, and I'm going to make some flowers with this, but I'm going to do that after. I have this page from my 1972 Women's Day, and I love this face, so I'm going to trim around. I remember seeing these ads when I was little. It's called Get a Lavish Beauty Kit for only $1 with coupon. Oh my goodness. And I thought it would be fun to put her this way on this edge. The most beautiful dollar you'll ever spend. I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to leave this outside part. I like the color. And I also have this piece of magazine. I'm going to put this here. Somehow. Little odds and ends that I'm finding. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, evening. Going to put this down here. I was going to put it under, but then I forgot to leave that open. So I'm going to put something here, something soft, maybe a headband. But I'm going to put this down here. We'll cover up my bleed through from the other side. I have this from a magazine, Best Day Ever. I'll put that over to the side. Some more scraps. I also have this that I was painting and stamping and doing all kinds of things. This is a photocopy of this card that, oh yes, I used it on a printer reject. So I might use that in here. That would be lovely. Has nothing to do with this, but I just like the colors. I think they all go nicely together. So, I think I'm going to put that right. I'm going to put that in right now. And then it's on there. I'll use the back of this. Whenever I have to do a test print or when I'm changing my ink, it wants to do an alignment, I always reuse the page. Well, and I have a butterfly that I said right here. Very random. The edge is a little bit too white for me. I'll just use this marker. As I'm doing this, I'm also thinking, wow, how amazing is it that this time and opportunity to do this. He probably needs to be outlined a bit. I'm going to use this up here somewhere, but I want to put something underneath, and I'm also I need to keep this edge from coming up, and I'm going to use this tape. I'm not going to use the whole piece. I really just want to secure these little crispy edges. So I'll put that down there. And it's pretty transparent. I thought I wanted to do something like a little headband. I'll see if I can come up with something with this, one of these little edges. I'm going to I won't do a very thick one. This has the serged seam on it. It was a pull string. I'm just going to go for it. I think back to what was in this magazine, the look, the fashion was definitely headbands, cool hats. Looks like a little headband. I'll use a little bit of my gelato. Blend it in with my wipe. There's definitely nothing wrong with having blank spaces, and sometimes I leave them like that. And I'll use the rest of the space to add my journaling. I'll add some doodling. I'm going to use my acrylic marker, so I'll pick a few colors to help me with this, and I'll also have my black Sharpies. I'll just bring this over here like that. Some doodle fun. I'm giving myself a little bit more color on the petals. Here's the quick page for today, pages, and it started with my ruffle that I had put on, sparked by this dyed little bag from the store from Zara, and then my 1972 Women's Day advertisement, and then some odds and ends put together. I did my journaling. The ad was the most beautiful dollar you'll ever spend, and it was about buying this $15 makeup pack. I'm going to make a flower or two, and I'm going to use this. I'm going to layer it up. I'm making this up. I'll cut these up into smaller sections here. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. I thought it would be fun to just wing it together. It's like a lot of my scraps, I move them around for a few times and then I kind of think, okay, it's time to do something with it. Let's see how many. I'm trying to do little squares so I can cut them out or fringe them or do something. I don't really know. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Before I put a needle through here, I decided to cut the corners. As I said before, this is winging it, and I'm going to see if that works out. We'll see what happens. Just going to go around the center. There will be other fun things in here. I took a few extra minutes and went off camera because I had to put my head right in there. I had to flip it over just to get everything sewn up. I left my squares a little bit too big, but in the end I like the way it's rough and all frayed. And I'm going to take another set of squares, except this time I'm going to make them a little bit different. Just going to make them a little rounder. See if that one will work now. Be a bit better. And then I'm going to put this one in the middle. And I'm going to fray the edges again. This one's going to have, actually I think I'm going to put a different layer in there. I took some of my scarf, just a little piece off, and then I made some circles. And I'm layering that. I think I'll put this one, and we'll be able to see it a little bit better. I'm using my crocodile. And so that's gathered up, and once I put the eyelet in, I can rearrange this, and it's just for the layers. It's like any of the layers that we do. See if this works the way I thought it would. I think my hole is going to be too big. Oh yeah. I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. Okay, I didn't get all the layers. That did not work. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to take my sewing needle, sew around that. I think that's going to be okay. Just figuring it out. I was going to take it off, but I'm going to leave it in and I'll work around it. As we all say, there are no mistakes, so I'm just going to work with this. This is my scrappy whatever it turns out to be. Something's going to go in the middle and you won't even know. You won't even know that's there. This is not going to go anywhere once it's glued onto the page. I don't know how I'm going to use these flowers yet. I just know I wanted to have some flowers. This scarf at the back is completely frayed. But this is about learning, and it's about having fun and no pressure, no stress, and that's what this is. And I might even use the flower this way. I wonder if I should go this way. I think I will. The way I got this all to fray, I mashed it up like this. We'll see which way it ends up looking best. I love this effect. I paid nothing for this. It's all from things given to me. Oh yeah. I'm going to take a piece of this seam binding because I want to give another layer just in the center. So I'll cut myself a little bit of the length here. Let's see what colors I have. These are the dark ones. I have blue. Oh, what about this one? I think I'll use that. It's not shiny, but I don't have to have everything sparkly. See if I can do something really quick. This is a little bit of a sewing project, but if you wanted to, you could do this with just fabric glue, pinching and pleating as you go along. Let me just get myself a little bit of a base here. I'm going to see if I can fray the edges like I did the other. Just have to get it going. Oh, she's scruffy, all right. Really just wanted to make flowers today. I think I'm going to go with it because it's wide enough. And if I want to add anything sparkly, I can do something underneath. One little added touch, I do have these seed beads I've had in my stash for a long time. I'm going to add a couple of those just randomly around here. Let's see if that will work out. I think they should fit. It'll just have a little, there'll be a hint really scruffy and fun. I'm going to do one more a little differently. I've got the rest of the layers. I put them all together. A quick no-sew with the leftovers. Going to staple the center. I just did a crisscross. They are in the center, and now I'm going to take each of these. I'm just going to make them various sizes. This is a very quick way to do it. Then I've used that full square. If you like the fraying that you see, you don't have to change it. Round off the corners. I could do this all day. And I'm going to do the exact same thing as before. That is fun. I switched to my awl. I do find that my fingers are a little sensitive to the fine metal of the needle. Fluff them up. You can take a stitch here if you want, or you can take your stapler and staple the back of it. And then there is absolutely no sewing involved. I want to keep this one kind of rustic looking, and I have these are tacks that were on our sofa that I harvested when we moved. I have the leather, and I have one here that I've taken the post. I cut most of the post off of it, and I thought that would be fun in there. Using the hot glue today. Just gonna fill that up, not burn myself. Put it right in the middle. And I'm just using my finger underneath to hold the staple and work my way around. Oh, it's so cute. This might be my favorite one. Thanks for joining me today in the Glue Book of Spontaneity. I hope that this inspired you in some way. Using scraps, doodling, found scrappy pieces of magazine, and maybe make some shabby boho flowers. You never know what you can make with your scraps. Use your imagination. Thanks very much for joining me. I really appreciate having you here. Always remember to be adventurous and stay cozy. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.